What's going on, everyone? Right now, we got to talk about Shiba Inu because Shiba Inu is doing numbers. We are up 13% in the last 24 hours with Shiba Inu. And this is probably not going to be the last of those gains that we see with Shiba Inu. We also just now had the Bitcoin halving. So not only is Shiba Inu moving up because Shibarium is at all-time high, Shibarium itself is doing very good as a blockchain. Like, there's so many transactions. We're at all-time high for the transactions with Shibarium. Bone is going crazy as well. Now Shiba Inu is also doing good. Now we have the Bitcoin halving that has just not happened. It's just cooking up to become a huge melting pot of growth for this ecosystem of Shibarium. And Shiba Inu is going to be at the top along with Bone. We're going to talk about the technical analysis here. Lots to discuss. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But let's go straight over it. Now, as you can see here, we are up 13% for Shiba Inu in the last 24 hours. So we've had a little bit of a pullback here. You know, we went all the way up here to 8Z or 4Z, which is 4 zeros after the decimal place, 4Z 2646. Right now we're at 2591. If we look over here on trading view, we actually see we're at 2573. So we got really close. Now we do need to get all the way up here to this Fibonacci all the way at 4Z 3140. So that's going to be the resistance that we're actually trying to get up to. We need to get up to that resistance soon here. I'll just say 3150 because, you know, it sounds a lot better. But yeah, we need to get up there to that resistance. If you actually look over here at the RSI, we're really at the peak of our RSI. So we should be seeing the RSI crossing right up here and going back down a little bit. But that's not the end of it. If you actually look at the Chart Prime automated trading indicators, which is why I love using the automated trading indicators with Chart Prime, link in the description for that. But if you look at this, we have a buy signal right here. Typically, when these signals are thrown up, they're typically right, usually. And we see right here when we had that buy signal, we went all the way from 26.85 all the way up to 29.97. If you look at here, when we had the sell signal, we went all the way down from 30.75 all the way down here to 26.27. So, well, it's somewhere around 25, 2063, somewhere around there. But anyways, we've seen that whenever we have these signals being thrown out, it's usually right. So what I'm really paying attention to right now is the buy signal that we just got. Do we have enough time for the buy signal, or is there not enough time? Because with this buy signal, remember, when we had this buy signal, you know, it went up a little bit more from there, from 2700 all the way up to the 2850 area. Now, what I'm looking at now for this buy signal is, will it stop here or will it keep going? I actually think this one's going to keep going because we haven't hit the top of the momentum wave band yet. The momentum wave band right here, we tried to hit it back here, but we pulled back a little bit lower and dropped down to that support where the Fibonacci retracement is for that support. And just so happens that our momentum wave band is right there as well. Something else that you also want to pay attention to here is this little green area forming up here. It's very lightly shaded, so I'm going to zoom in a lot, but it's a little green line that's actually starting to form up here. Right here, I'm pretty much marking it right here. So it's right in the middle there, very lightly shaded, very hard to see, okay? But what you really want to think about here with that is whenever you see this, it's typically a short-term resistance, we'll call it, right? When I say short-term resistance, I just mean it's for the short term, obviously. But the reason why I say this is because typically when we go up here with the Chart Prime automated trading indicators, we'll come up here to the top of the momentum wave band, and then we'll either pull back at the top of the momentum wave band, or we'll pull back at that Fibonacci retracement at 3140, right? But what I'm seeing here with Shiba Inu right now, if we start going up here, if we get rejected at 2700, that means that we're just looking bearish and we're going to go a little bit lower, possibly black down to our support down there, back down to our support. But another thing that I want to say, let's say we keep going past that area. Well, then the next resistance that we're really looking for is that little green line that we were just talking about, which is at the 28 area, 000028. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that 28 area. So we could get all the way up there from 25 to 28. I think that's a pretty good amount of gains right there, right? It's fairly decent. That's what I'll say. It's fairly decent. It's not the best, but fairly decent. Cuts it. It does the job. So if we get all the way up there to that resistance, the next one we're watching out for will be the top of that momentum wave band, which is around 30.30. And then we have all the way up here at this, which is 31.50 at the Fibonacci retracement. And then we can't forget to mention 2700, which is the bottom of our momentum wave band. So we have 4 resistance levels that we need to watch out here for Shiba Inu. If Shiba Inu is to become bullish, the first one we would hit, obviously 2700. If we get rejected, then you could kiss all the other ones goodbye. Or we could go up here to 2850, and then we can kind of drop back down to 2700 and then go back up above 2850, getting all the way up to like the 2900 one, maybe pulling back down a little bit and breaking past that Fibonacci retracement. So it looks like Shiba Inu is about to become bullish. We're having bullish signals here. It's also looking like the crypto market has like leveled out a little bit. And as you can see, Shiba Inu also did as well. Shiba Inu leveled out, but now it's looking like it's starting to increase. So I think that we might actually have an increase in the prices here for Shiba Inu. We might have a breakout coming in soon for SHIB. Also, Bitcoin, I've been watching it. We just now had the Bitcoin halving go through. So that's all good as well. So the fact that, the Bitcoin halving's here, we should probably start seeing a lot more things rising in price as well. Now that Bitcoin is finally happened, the halving. And you got to think about it. Everyone was talking about this. This was like the biggest talk in the crypto community. And now it's finally done. It's over with. So I think now people are going to, actually start breathing. They're like, okay, now we know it's done and over with. Now we're probably going to start buying a little bit more. Maybe it happens like that. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe people start to sell out. I don't know. We'll see. But for Shiba Inu, Shibarium has been doing pretty good. They've made some updates to Shibarium as well. This is a tweet by the Shibarium network. They tweeted, and this, as you can see, is the official. It says official account for Shibarium's blockchain. Now, it says, SHIB Army, we are thrilled to launch the new Shibarium user interface update. Now faster, smoother, and more accessible than ever. We expanded wallet capability with MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet, Rainbow, Trust Wallet, and Wallet Connect to let you Shibas connect the way you want. We reworked the platform from the ground up to prioritize the user experience and speed. They pretty much had a whole update where they updated the user interface, and they added all these different wallets for the capability to work with Shibarium. That's pretty big because, MetaMask being like the biggest one out there, Coinbase Wallet being tied to the biggest exchange out there. Rainbow, I don't know much about Rainbow Wallet, but Trust Wallet being one of the biggest Binance wallets out there. Well, it's because it's owned by Binance now, obviously. And then we have Wallet Connect, which is the biggest third-party connector for your wallets. So this is pretty big for Shiba Inu. It's pretty big for the Shibarium blockchain, and it's pretty big for Bone. It's pretty big for all of those. So I'm gonna keep watching out for this for you guys just to see what's gonna happen. But yeah, I still do believe that we're gonna have a nice little pump coming in for Shiba Inu. If we do, we're gonna be going up to that resistance at 3150, and then hopefully getting back up to the 4100 levels. Because if that happens, then we're probably gonna see Bitcoin getting back to 70K. So it looks like that's what's gonna happen. Now, if that does not happen, we want to watch out for what could happen on the downside. Because look, not too long ago, we hit our Fibonacci retracement down here, and then we bounced off of that support not too long ago, right? We bounced off it at 21, let's just say 20, let's say 2180, give or take 2180, that's where it was. But then the price dropped a little bit lower than that. The price dropped all the way down to 1837. So you can bet if Shiba Inu gets rejected where we are at now and can't get past 2700, then what we're more than likely going to see is Shiba Inu dropping back down to that level that we just now once seen before. So if Shiba Inu gets rejected, we're probably going to go straight down, maybe to the momentum wave band with the chart prime automated trading indicators. Link in the description if you want those indicators. Or we can go down to the bottom half of it, or we could stop right at the middle. Just so happens that that's right at the middle, right where we dropped and came back down on here. Because you can see that line come straight down to here. So that candlestick does. So what it's kind of looking like here is we might actually end up having a decrease in the price. I know I don't want to say it because people might get mad. They're like, no, we're bullish. We're going to be bullish. look, there's always two scenarios that can happen. No one ever knows anything inside the crypto market. We can do all these technical analysis and stuff, and it helps to try to predict what happens next so you can make the best move. But what you got to know is anything can happen at any given point. There could be a bomb that happens inside of some random country that just so happens to be a big country that everybody's paying attention to at the point in time. Anything can happen. So that's why we got to pay attention to this stuff. And that's why when you're doing these technical analysis, you also have to remember things can go terribly wrong. Things might not go your way. But what I do see here is if we do get rejected, then we're obviously looking down here for this area, and that'll be around 1800. So we'll see if we do. Typically, once we get a rejection, it's usually a steep drop from there. It's usually a steep drop, and it usually drops about halfway, and we see it time and time again, right? As you can see here, this one was immediate drop all the way down to that support there at the Fibonacci. But then when we dropped almost a little bit over halfway there, and then we kind of had a little bit of a recovery, right? And then we got rejected again at the same resistance at the 330 area, the 30 area, and then we dropped all the way back down to our support. Now we're trying to get past and up there again. So this is crazy because we've been trying to continue to rise from there multiple times. So what I'm really seeing here is if we can't rise back above it this time, if we can't rise back above this resistance up here at the Fibonacci retracement this next time, then we're definitely dropping down another Fibonacci retracement, and then we're going below that support there. So if that happens, then we're really looking at the 1500 areas all the way through 1800, somewhere around there. So be careful because this could end bad if people are like, hey, Bitcoin haven't happened, let's go drop all our money on crypto and see what we can get, see if we get some gains. Now we also see that there is a little green line forming up right down here. This is part of the chart prime automated trading indicators. It's right here. You can hardly see it because it's right on the buy signal, but typically when these lines start growing, that just means that we're having an increase in our momentum, hence the momentum wave band. So if we're having an increase inside of our momentum, this could meet us all the way up here at the top of the momentum wave band, which led me to believe that we are bullish. That's why I mentioned the bullish scenario first. It's always good to know both scenarios because if we start to go up, where we could quite possibly pull back, which is either 2700, 2800, 30, or 32 or 3150, right? Now you also want to know your bearish scenario, so where we're probably going to increase at, and those are the ones that I believe matter some of the most is the pullbacks. Like obviously, like the rise matters a lot because that's where you're about to make your money, but you got to remember when we have pullbacks and we hit our supports, we have recoveries almost immediately after that. So if we were to take and ride this all the way down, right? Let's say we rode this all the way down here to 20 and then we increased. Well, then we would get a little gain. So you probably wouldn't want to buy around there. But what you would want to watch out for is go from all the way at 25.55 all the way down to 1800. Because then when that happens, let's say it goes down a little bit more and a little bit more, and then it goes back up to 20, you're still making gains on your money. You're still making gains. So I just kind of want to show you guys this because look, if we did our pullback, right? And let me take all of this out, right? Because this is getting a little messy. We got a lot of drawings on here. It's getting a little messy right now. I already know that. So we're just going to take everything out that we have right now. We're just going to make a little scenario here, okay? Everything but that line right there because that's going to be our buy-in point. That's where we're buying in. And like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm just showing some trading strategies here. This is typically how I trade, so everyone can trade differently. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go all the way down to 1.8, but it's a possibility. So what I'm looking for here, I'm looking at our current price at 25.50, and I'm like, look, I'm not buying in until I see this goes all the way down to 1,800. So give or take somewhere around 1,800. We're gonna just leave it there. And this line right here is actually where our support was here. Because if you look at it, let's go over to the 15-minute chart and just scroll all the way back here. That's where we hit back on the 13th of April, and that was our support. Our supports always stay true to themselves. So the support is always going to come back and bounce back. And look, we could continue to become bullish. We always want to know the bearish scenario, though. I told you the bullish scenario first because that's the one I believe that's going to more than likely happen. So that's why I told you that bullish scenario first. Now we're going to look at the bearish one. And the reason I just kind of want to give some more validation to the bullish scenario so you're not all scared thinking, hey, we're just going to crash and blah, 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 right? What you want to look at with the bullish scenario here, looking at our RSI, you can see how we're crossing at the bottom. We're typically rising here with the RSI when it's crossed at the bottom like that. We could easily have a rise right here. And that's what it's kind of looking like. Because remember, the last time it did that and crossed at the bottom on April 20th, which is today, a little bit earlier today. But you can see that it rose, and it rose up. And then you started to see that increase in the price. Then it pulled back a little bit, just like how it shows here that we had a little bit of selling. And then, boom, it kept going. And you can see it crossed before it could reach the bottom, and then it kept going up. Look at what we're doing now. We're crossed at the bottom. What happens from there? It goes up. So we may actually see an increase in the price more than we think so. I just like to show the bearish scenario as well. So don't think I'm saying this is bearish. I do think that we're bullish right now, but the bearish scenario can always happen. So you want to be prepared for it. Prepared. And that's why that's why I'm saying, like, look, maybe you already have some Shiba Inu and you just want a dollar cost average in, right? Well, you could dollar cost average in and buy more at 1.8 if it goes down at 1.8, as in like an 8 ball. So I know it sounds like I said 1A, but no, 1.8. And if you see, we go all the way down to the 1.8 area, and that could be where your dollar cost averaging in some more. So that's another trade strategy. Me personally, though, I'm looking at this like, I'm trying to get a little bit lower down there so that I can buy at 1.8 and then sell when we get back up to the Fibonacci. So that's what I like to do, because typically, remember what I said before, when we have these pullbacks here like that, we drop down to the supports, but then we typically recover back up to this Fibonacci retracement. And let me just show you how this happens all the time. We come back down a little bit more halfway, we actually bounce back up, and then we recover going back up to the Fibonacci. And that's really the trading strategy that I'm looking at here. Because if I were to be trading this right now, I would be like, all right, maybe it'll go up, maybe it won't. So what I'll wait for is for it to go down. And if it does go down to 1.8, then this is what I'll do. I'll take $1,000 and I'll take and buy at 1.8. And yeah, somewhere around 1.8. And that's where that line is. That'll give you 55 million Shiba Inu. And then I would go ahead and sell it at the Fibonacci at 2175. So I would multiply that by 0.00002175. That's $208. That is a little bit over 20%. That's a little bit over 20% trade right there. And that's why I look at these trades like this, because you really only need one of these trades per week if you have $10,000. If you have, if you have $1,000, you need a 20% trade every day to make all right money, like not even good money, like $208 a day. $208 a day is not that bad. It's actually pretty good compared to what most people make inside of the world. And that's a day. So that's 4,100 every single month. That's more than what most people make in the world. But look, if you had $10,000 though, and you got in all the way at 1.8, right? You waited for it to go down. You got in at 1.8. And then you went ahead and you sold, like I said before, all the way up here at 2175. That would then get you 1,200. Actually, I think I put 1,000 in. But $10,000 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 1.8. That gives you 555 million Shiba Inu. That's a lot, by the way. And then, multiplying it by 1. Actually, no, this area, that's why I messed up. I meant to do 2,175. I did 175. Anyways, 2,175. That gives you $12,000. So that's $2,000. All you would have to do is make one of these trades per week to, come out good. So if you could just make one of those trades per week, you would have $2,083, 4 weeks inside of a year, $8,000 a month, 4 trades a month, literally. and you could just be making $8,000 every month, 4 trades a month. You just need to have these certain trades like this set up in a way where you're doing it in the safest way possible. You're waiting for that pullback, so you're not suffering from a drop or a loss. You're waiting for everyone else to lose their money, and then you're buying in when the whales are buying in. You're buying in at that support, and then you're watching it going back up to the resistance right before it drops again. You're buying on the bet that there's a recovery. What if there's no recovery? What if it goes below 1.8? What if it goes down to the Fibonacci at the support at 1570? That's when you dollar cost average in at 1570. And then when it goes back up, you don't have to go all the way up to 1800 to break even. You may only have to go all the way up to like 1650 to break even, right? And then in order to actually make profit, you can make profit at your previous entry price at 1800. You'll make a little bit of profit there. So there's ways to do this safely. You just have to be smart about it. Okay, you just have to be smart. And we were talking about the technical analysis here with Shiba Inu, and then it led us over to a trading strategy. But there's a lot of good trading strategies that you can do with Shiba Inu to make money. You really don't have to only buy and hold, because buying and holding is cool, but you can have a whole income off of it. But you also got to think, you're paying, if you're in the United States, by the way, paying 37% inside of short-term capital gains taxes. So what was it, like $8,000 a month that we were looking at for doing those 4 trades that we're talking about per year? That's $96,000 per year. I mean, you're losing most of your money inside of taxes, $35,000 in taxes. So, it's kind of, iffy. You're left with $60,000 after that. That's still good. Most people don't make $60,000 per year. So after taxes, you'll still be good. And if you run a business and you actually run your business properly, you take that $35,000 and you spend it on growing your business, and now you use everything that you spent it on as a write-off. Now that $35,000 is written off and you don't owe it. You might owe some money, but it is what it is. So anyways, I'm not a tax professional, so definitely seek a tax professional for that. And also, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Go ahead and seek a professional for that. This is pure entertainment. Let's talk about that. But anyways, if you want these automated trading indicators, definitely check out Chart Prime. Link in the description. Just check it out. It's very, very good. 7-day money back guarantee. It's pretty easy to use, actually. And I'm always using the momentum wave band. You could literally make back the yearly one, which is $489 paid annually. And you can also look at this, $40 a month if you get it yearly, $67 a month if you get it monthly. You could try it out for 1 month if you want, or you could try it risk-free for 7 days. But if you do the yearly one, you're getting $804 off, and you're only paying $489 annually, which is yearly. And then you got the premium monthly, $67 a month. Use a discount code CP30 for 30% off. And then you also got the premium quarterly, which is $47 a month. And you're pretty much getting $201 off just for paying quarterly. And that's $143 paid quarterly. You can use the 30% discount code to get 30% off that $143 after you've already gotten $201 off of the overall thing for doing the quarterly. So you can go ahead and check that out. Elevate your trading game. Trading simplified. Very, very good. I always use the Market Oracle. The Market Oracle Pro is what I always use with the momentum wave bands. It works best for me that way. But yeah, definitely check that out. Link in the description. All that good stuff. You can make all the money back for Chart Prime literally in 1 day. And we were just down doing those scenarios. If you got the money, you can make it back in a day. But anyways, this is all I got. As always, I'll be back with another video. Peace.